Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We are here with yet another fantastic guest, Rasa. She will be telling us about all the simple things you can do to your website that are sort of low cost and have huge effect. And this is something people usually don't talk about and we tend to overlook. So I'm very happy she's bringing her knowledge and sharing it with us. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm very excited to share my experience with you guys.
Great. As I said, people don't usually talk about it, and it's so obvious that sometimes there's just this, as we love to call it, low hanging fruit, and it has got huge impact. So tell us shortly about you, just in case some guests might not know you, or some people watching the podcast might not know you. Tell us about you, and then we jump to the topic that is definitely very must to be covered.
Of course. So, my name is Rasa. I'm the co founder and CEO of a marketing agency called GrowthByte, and we specialize in SEO, GEO, content marketing, and PR.
Very good, very good. PR, that's something we should cover as well, even though that's not really exactly low hanging fruit. Tell
Yeah.
us about all of the things that you consider that people overlook and are sort of cheap things and huge wins. What would go into this category?
Yeah, so I think it's very easy for SEO experts to dwell something into, do like a massive PR campaign and that will help your business. Or, when it comes to GEO, investments in like 300, media buys, and then you'll see the needle moving. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to appeal to those that don't have massive budgets or work in the bigger corporations where you actually, if you need a bigger budget, you have to prove that this will yield positive ROI. And we know SEO in most cases is not as straightforward as that. So hence I brought a few tactics that could really benefit, small SaaS companies and even bigger ones. So the first tactic I thought of accidentally is probably someone thought of it way before. So I'm not taking like full credit for it because, in SEO, probably you can't invent anything. But we thought, what about logo files? So for a very long time, we knew that optimizing, ALT tags for images is important, but in reality, unless you're like an e-commerce business, no one really does it, especially not on like B2B SaaS or enterprise websites. So we had this inkling that it's somewhat important, but we never paid attention to it. And at one point, I was like, how about we only focus on one ALT tag, which is the logo file? And the logo file is on every single page of your website. And it just seemed like a very low hanging fruit, as you mentioned, to optimize for that. So the way the optimization goes, you decide of a 5-letter, like a sentence, what your business does, and usually there's a keyword hidden inside it. So we did this for our client, which is IP Royal. They specialize in selling residential mobile proxies. And one category they really wanted to be known for is the residential proxies. So what we did for the logo file, instead of just naming it IP Royal, which is just the brand's name, we coined this sort of sentence that encompassed what they wanted to achieve. So it's called Premium Residential Proxy Provider. And we sort of map this as an entity to their logo. So everywhere that the logo is used, instead of IP Royal, we put IP Royal plus that sentence. So it would be IP Royal Premium Residential Proxy Provider. You can use differentiators as much as you want, as long as your main niche is in that sentence. And then what happened after a while, we started ranking for that specific term without investing any additional capital to it. We didn't build links to with those anchor texts. We didn't change anything we were doing previously. We didn't do any like additional PRs to position us towards the category. We just plainly changed the alt text of the logo file. And that really had like a big effect on all of our client businesses. So I would say it's just almost like it costs almost nothing. It's very impactful. And it really proves that to move the needle, you don't necessarily need to even buy links with those anchors, as long as Google can map you to a specific category and your brand, is more than enough in most cases. And I think a good point to mention as well that we work in very competitive niches, not as competitive as like iGaming and all those, but one step down, which would be like proxies, VPNs, or like the high value keywords that usually need bigger, like huge capital to even rank in top 10. So this really helped us almost cost nothing, and it's very, very effective. And we tried it in multiple niches, hosting your niche as well, like hosting that works as well. So
It's
definitely
really
try that
good.
out.
It's
Yeah,
so simple, but you are right. When I think of any logos of any website, usually says logo, like
yeah, yeah,
then, or nothing. It's completely left blank, or it says the brand name, and that's like the best optimizing you see there. And it's actually really awesome. It's on every page, and you can really, really have a huge impact. I think this is really good. And everybody should do it. Everybody should do it because it's there. You have logo. And my favorite as well is sometimes the logos are super huge. So I think another optimization here could be resize it. It's just my 2 cents. Sometimes the logos, when you click on it, it's just like, wow, how long does this take to load, and how much power does it need? So optimize the size, and then obviously do the alt text because it has got an impact. And you tested it, and you've done it, and you have got results. This is brilliant. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah.
This is so simple. And I love when somebody comes to the podcast or is on conference and shares that one thing, even if this is the only thing people remember, that you can implement tomorrow and it's going to have positive impact. So I think you already nailed what we needed from this podcast, but I'm sure you
Thank
have
you.
got more tactics because you are a brilliant SEO. So what else would you recommend? Because this first one is a pure gold. Like anyone
Thank you.
listening to this, please go and re-optimize your logos right now. I'm going to go to do it for every client right now. It's just like thinking like, why didn't I think of this? For
Yeah,
myself
because
as a
it
good
makes
SEO
sense
right
when
now, I
you
feel like
think about it. Yeah.
this thing. It's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So what's your next tip? Because this is brilliant.
Yeah, so our next thing, again, I just thought of it while being in the conference and listening to everyone else, coming up with like these huge ideas how you can scrape like data sets and then create PR campaigns. And I thought, this sounds like a lot of work. Can we just stick to something more simpler and more cost effective? So I've worked at a few companies before, SaaS companies, and one problem that we had is getting testimonials. That was
Mm,
always a pain, especially in like competitive niches. Customers don't want to sort of tell to the world what providers they're using because they're afraid their competitors will, sort of use the same tech and be better than them. So always it was very, very challenging to get testimonials. I'm not even talking about video testimonials because that's another beast in itself because people are, camera shy in most cases. So I thought, how about we flip the script in this way? So instead of us asking for testimonials, I thought it would be a good idea to suggest to give some. What we did for multitude of clients again now, and we even did it for ourselves as Girl Bite, and was successful. So we make a list of all the tools, all the tech you guys are using. So that can be Slack, that can be Zoom, that can be Google Cloud, everything there. Then we scrape their websites and see if they have customer testimonial section. And especially in that customer testimonial section, when someone gives their honest opinion and review, whether that particular business links back to them. So we know there's like an opportunity to get backlink from this as well. And in some cases, we saw there's definitely possibilities there. So what we did, we just, in most cases, contacted account managers or just the websites themselves and said, we've been a lot of customers for so many years. We love your product. We would love to share our experience with it. Are you open to this discussion? And 9 out of 10 companies jump to the opportunity, because they're really working on this and they really need people, to sort of tell the world that their product is great, and now companies are coming to them and offering this. So it's sort of like a win-win situation. So just by simply doing this, of course, it takes time because,
Mhm.
you need people to reply, and it's a whole process. For some companies, we got links back from Google Cloud. So we're based in Lithuania, so Google sent people from San Francisco to Lithuania to interview the companies we were working with for the testimonials. And then, I mean, in SEO, it can't get any better getting a backlink back from Google. And then they wrote like a huge case study featuring the business and giving backlinks, pointing backlinks back to the business. We got a few testimonials from Slack just by doing this. We got one ourselves recently. We use a tool called Productive for task management. So we outreach just to productive team saying, we love the tool. We would love to share some feedback. Is there any way, is there someone looking after this process? And like in 2 months, we got a blog post posted on their website saying what is Growth Byte, what they're doing, why they're so great, and how they're using their service to, improve their day-to-day processes. So last year, we also got a link back for our clients from Think with Google website as well, where Google shares that their most worthy like stories and features companies that use their products and manage to achieve great results. This actually turned into a bigger opportunity for our client. They got invited to do a Google conference as well. So they were a speaker after. Because keeping in mind these connections matter, and if you know how to work them, there's really more opportunities you can get. So we've been doing this for like a couple of years, 2-3 years now. It works every time. And again, it basically costs you nothing. You're just scratching an itch of someone that's already, yearning for these types of reviews. And it's very easy to do. And again, it costs almost nothing, just your time. And the backlinks you get, it would be impossible to get through backlinking purely, not even through PR. So we're very, very happy with that.
It's really good because you're proving that thinking outside of a box really, really works. We are very guilty in SEO to copy someone else's ideas, which usually is buying links. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You've got a list of links, you share it with me, I'll buy it, I'll give you money. And that's the easiest exchange I can do. Takes almost no time. It is what it is. And we are all guilty of doing that as well. Somebody comes up with this type of content, we all copy it. So you thinking outside of a box proves that it brings new results and brings new links, because links are extremely important. Nobody's saying they are not. And they are just impossible to get, the good ones, the original ones. I'm trying to think how we can do this in iGaming industry. I'm sure there are ways. I'm just thinking, like, anybody actually trying that? I don't think so, because as you said, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work to actually get things going, and not every time it's a yes, and we are sort of allergic to no. Because when you give them money, there's never no, So it's fantastic. I love this approach. Especially, it's cheaper and it's more effective. I mean, who gets a link from Google or Slack just like that?
Yeah.
Like,
Zoom, by the way, Zoom also gives out backlinks. At least they used to. We also tried this in different markets. So it works in German market, it works in French market. Because again, every company wants to use the opportunity to sort of like shine a good light on their product. And this
yeah,
is
of
a good
course.
opportunity for them. So it's very hard for them to say no. Again, in like iGaming industries, there might be like, some thought going behind why would they say no, but in most cases this works really well.
I know our compliance, maybe probably French companies will not jump on it, but in a places where compliance is a little bit more relaxed, or if you are operating in a market with license, why not? I'm thinking like, wow, could this be done? Could this be done? Because we do that in a way that if you are affiliate, you ask the operator to link to, saying they are your partner. It's usually no follow, but it's extremely industry relevant. But it's not the same, because everybody does that. Everybody gets those testimonials within the industry. But from outside of industry, Same principle, and I don't think anyone does it. So now I'm thinking, how can we use it? Oh, I will look into this deeper because I'm loving it. Good. 2. Do you have one more for us?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Also a bonus tip. So remember
Mhm.
the sentence I talked about before, like crafting a 5-word sentence about your business, and this sort of can become the entity or sort of like a descriptor to Google what your business is. So you can use the same tactic we use for the logo and use while getting testimonials as well. So
Mhm.
instead of just saying, oh, we're GrowthByte and we're really happy with, let's say, Productus software, we can say, as GrowthByte, digital marketing agency that specializes in SaaS, we're very happy, using Productive's systems. So the same sort of 5-word sentences that you want to sort of coin yourself as like a leader in this industry, you can use as well for this specific technique. And even if you don't get a backlink back, what happens in testimonials, you'll have your brand name and your category describing that you're the best at it next to it. So it sort of works like PR a little bit, because Google keeps seeing your brand mentioned to your category that you want to be ranked for over and over again. So that also like pushes your results up in a very sneakily way, I would say.
Plus, as well, we know this works, the consistency and brand mentions works for AI. So if you want to be visible in LLMs, you need to be consistent with your messaging. We know that you cannot be everything. You need to be one thing, and you keep saying that over and over and over. So if you have it behind your logo and all around the web, even if it doesn't result in link, LLMs will probably pick up on it and start to love you sooner or later. So that's good. That's not just doing Google, but we are modern. We're doing the LLMs right now as well. And
Yeah.
what's the third one? Do you have something very, very specific you can share with us as the number 3 so we can all jump on it and start to dig in and steal all your ideas?
Yes. So the third one is very recent. So again, buying backlinks is such a like core concept in SEO. Almost every SEO does this. So what we saw where offsite SEO especially going, people are going more towards marketplaces. It's just because it's way easier to buy links through marketplaces now. Obviously, if you have immense SEO team in the house, you can optimize your capital a little bit and then have your own team that outreaches. But usually what happens, they'll just get a few guys that have a bunch of links and work through networks with other guys, and they try to find links for you. So now manual outreach is not as effective as what before. And also people get spammed quite a lot, so they don't really reply to those requests to exchange backlinks. So what we saw that we're buying more and more links through those databases. The problem is that every database has its own pricing system. And on one database, you might like pay $100 for a link. The exact same domain on the other database is like $400. And I don't know about other guys, but usually we get like a certain budget per month that we can invest in backlinks. And client sort of says, this is the amount, get as many backlinks or as many good backlinks as possible. We want to see, the results going up. But it's up to you guys. So what we decided that it takes so much time to go through every single platform and compare the backlink prices by hand. We thought, how about, we scrape everything and then we have some sort of like a massive Excel file in like Claude or another LLM, and we get the prices back in that way and see which prices are the best. This requires insane scraping power, and we thought also, it's not that we're using this data commercially, but we thought maybe there's an angle here where we could help other agencies and help other SEOs and actually do this in a proper way. So that's how the idea for LinkPicker was born. So we launched like a couple days ago. It's linkpicker.io. everyone can go and see it. It's a free
We
tool.
will link it in the description for everyone because everybody needs links and
Yeah,
everybody needs a more clever way of doing links. So absolutely, it will be in the description. Make sure to click.
thank you very much. So it does basically, it connects through to other database through an API. So all the website data that you see is as fresh as on their on those databases. And you can either look for a specific domain and you'll be able to see the prices on different platforms for that specific domain, or you can just see whether there's any similar domain in that niche, similar DR or similar traffic that you also might be able to get through those platforms. And again, as I mentioned, it's a completely free tool. We just wanted to, get it out there, let everyone to enjoy it for a little bit while we can. Then this really helped us to save a lot of money, especially working with PR agencies. As we do PR ourselves in some niches and some specific locations, obviously we don't have contacts for every single country we want to do PR in. So we usually work with PR agencies. And whoever worked with PR agencies knows that it's a very common experience when you pay like 10K to them, and then at the end of the month they say, "Oh, we tried getting backlinks, and we got two. Better luck next month." And then you're sort of stuck paying this retainer for backlinks that could be bought just through those platforms. And in some cases, even we would have like a list of domains that we want to be featured on. That would be our goal for a client. And these specific PR companies would come back with like insane markups, saying like one mere link in this domain is like $4,000 or something. So this tool really helped us to sort of find whether there's an opportunity just to buy a single PR release without spending 10K on an agency for that particular country. And in most cases, it is. So just an example, we wanted to do a PR campaign in London. So we got a PR agency that was quoting us from 4 to 10K a month. And just we wanted three different releases. And we managed to do that for under $2,000 just in one go. And all the other agencies we're getting quotes from also quoted us upward from $4,000, which is
So this
just
is really good. And try to be in iGaming. Whatever you're paying, they triple it because they hear casino. So
yeah,
they hear money, and this tool will be fantastic, at least to see a benchmark. Like if this is the DR and this is the traffic in this country, this is the normal price for this type of link. Because as you said, it's one agency has the same link for 140 euro, another one is for 900, and you're like, what is it
exactly.
going to be? Like the content cannot be that different that it can be worth 800 euro. So it's good there is a tool to find it. And I'm very happy you're telling us about this because all of the things you're saying, they're just pieces of gold that can help anyone. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Any closing thoughts? Because I'm loving it. Once you have more, you need to come back. You need to absolutely come back because this is amazing. So any closing thoughts you want people to remember from this podcast? You want them for me, it's the logo and think outside of box. That's you thinking outside of a box. Anybody thinking that should think of your face. But what would be your closing thoughts here?
I just say don't get overwhelmed with all like the AI hype, and you need to automate everything, and you need to know what MCP is, and integrate every single bit of your work into AI. I think very simple methods that require just common thought, maybe a little bit of brain power, usually bring even better results than 8-hour AI automation with an A10 or something like that. So I would always just say, believe in yourself, believe in your skill set. No one knows for sure what they're doing and whether it will be a success. It comes down to testing and trying to get ideas out of the box, and also use your colleagues, use LinkedIn, and just use your gut for coming up with these ideas. And if your gut says it's worth trying, usually it is.
Great. Thank you. That is a perfect closing thought there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you.
If you got value from this video and want direct access to us, weekly calls, training, and the latest SEO updates, and a community of people operating at this level, click the link in the description to join the boardroom. We'll see you inside.